This week, as we start to write our paper, I want you to really look at your audience. So one of the first things we have to think about is why audience matters. And really it's what the writer assumes about the audience that matters. And we've talked a lot this semester about the way the writing that we've read, the essays that we read, the articles appeal to different audiences or to a particular audience or a lot of audience. So as the writer, you really have to think about these questions. You have to first of all pinpoint your audience. Who are you writing to? Will the audience be knowledgeable about this particular subject? How much will the audience care? Is this going to be something that's really important to them? Are they going to have strong convictions? Or will they have serious objections? So for example, in the past, I've had students write about how feminism, that they've argued that feminism has changed the way women look at abortion, that that's really not what feminism is, but it is the way that feminism interprets that issue. And so she's evaluating the way feminism deals with that. So who is her audience? Well, her audience is generally young women of childbearing age. And so she really has to look at, first of all, how do they feel about abortion? How do they feel about feminism? What do they know about feminism? And so you have to really think about your audience. Who are you trying to convince? What do they already know? Another student, say, is writing how we should use more online role-playing games for children in order to learn critical thinking skills in school. Well, his audience is generally going to be teachers, administrators, maybe parents too. How do they feel? One, about technology. How do they feel about the cost of the technology and implementing that? How are teachers going to feel about the additional training? How are parents going to feel about their children getting even more screen time? So really look specifically at the audience that you need to convince and figure out what are their preconceived biases going to be? What are we've looked at our own biases going in. What are the ones that our audience has? You can watch these following links or commercials, and to really, you want to look at who is the intended audience of this commercial, what is the appeal of it. So one of them is a Nike ad, and it just has a kid jogging. Who are they appealing to, and why does it appeal to that particular audience? The last one is the Budweiser commercial with the puppy. And so really, who are they trying to sell this beer to, and how is it through this commercial that they do that? So really looking at intended audience and then what values those commercials are playing to. So the first thing you're going to have to do, for our discussion board activity, is to really identify your audience. Who are they? Could you have more than one? So like I said, one student had teachers, students, and administrators. Okay. Does your assignment itself give any clues about your audience? It could. I haven't given you any specific clues, but in other classes, you could. What does your audience need? Is there something that's missing in this particular topic? So maybe if we're talking about education, is there something missing in a child's education? Is there something missing in a teacher's training? What does your audience want? Do they want to see their children have good health? Do they want to see their children succeed in life and develop critical thinking skills? What do they value? What's most important to them? What are they least likely to care about? Maybe they don't really care about your topic. How are you going to make them care? What kind of organization would best help your audience understand and appreciate your argument? What do you have to say, or what are you going to do in your research that might surprise your audience? I have one student in the past that wrote about what he called evidence-based care, that we need to institute evidence-based care in the medical field. And I said, well, don't we do that already? Don't we do research and we talk about evidence? And he said, well, yeah, but we rely on old evidence. we're not constantly reevaluating what we do and taking into consideration new developments. And so that was really surprising to me. I didn't realize that. I thought our medical institutions did do evidence-based care. And so you really have to think about what terms might you have to define, what kind of evidence is going to appeal to them, okay? So this is really what you're going to be doing in the initial post on your discussion board. You don't have to answer all of these questions, but I want you to write a significant post that really explains the identity of your audience. You should also include your topic, and so that the other people in the discussion board can really get a sense of what you're doing.